Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel. So today's video, we're going to talk about how this substance can possibly be used as a weapon, and I'm surprised we haven't seen it used sooner. So guys, as a lot of us know, there was a letter that was laced in fentanyl sent to an elections official's office. I think it was Georgia. Seeing that, and I remember thinking maybe 5 years ago or so, how come this substance wasn't used as a weapon sooner? Or rather, years ago. I was like, how come no one's using this as a weapon? I mean, I heard stories of cops who've so much just touched a little bit of it and were in convulsions. I've heard cops passing out. I heard people passing out. Hell, we even heard the stories of kids who were exposed to fentanyl die, like the baby that died a couple months ago at a daycare. But the letter being laced in fentanyl and then sent to an election official, I'm surprised we haven't seen that act, if you will, being sent to other politicians or just other people. Hell, there might be a neighbor you hate, Johnny the Dickface. For some reason, you don't like him, and you sent him a box full of chocolate laced in fucking fentanyl. How come we don't see that? Now, not how come we don't see that, I think we're going to start seeing it a lot more. Because, again, the potency of fentanyl is unlike anything a lot of us have ever seen, especially when it started popping up on the scene in way of drug use. Now, fentanyl has been around since the late 50s, early 60s, and it's used as a anesthetic, if you will, a painkiller, right? It made its way to the public by way of drugs. And cocaine is laced with it. Some people have it in weed. Well, I don't understand why you want to do that. People have it mixed with heroin, which when they first started doing it, people were dropping dead left and right. Being that, guys, even like a pinhead amount of fentanyl can get you sick. A little more than that can kill you. So I'm not sure why we haven't seen it already, but I think in this contentious society we live in, we're going to start seeing it more. Now, fentanyl is a powerful opiate, right? Again, it was used for anesthetics. It's been around for a while. Like I said, late 60s. If I'm not mistaken, 1959 to 1960 it was created, if you will. What we're seeing now, the fentanyl that we're seeing here in the United States, is from China. And I almost, in the back of my head, a couple of times thought that the Chinese were sending this shit over here on purpose because it is super addictive and it kills a lot of people. Matter of fact, in 2020, it killed over 700,000 people here in the United States. We are seeing an epidemic of this in big cities all over the place, and nothing is being done about it. Zero. Philly, if I'm not mistaken, is Kensington, Philly. They have a horrendous problem out there. New York City is starting to see an uptick in it. In fact, you can probably throw a rock and hit like 2, where in Kensington, PA, you could throw a rock and hit 20. So that's the ratio of people hooked on this shit. And it is super, super addictive. I mean, there are people who, like, again, accidentally came upon this stuff and are now hooked on it. Now, for those cops that I've seen who survived, who were exposed to it, if you will, I would like to know if they got hooked on it or if they're doing okay. Because, again, it is super addictive. It's more addictive than heroin. Now, fentanyl comes in a variety of ways. It comes in powder, pill form, prescribed patches. Now, the powder form, obviously, that's drug dealer. Pills form, that's pharmaceutical. Patches, pharmaceutical. They're also making liquid fentanyl now. Liquid fentanyl, again, if done illegally, I can't imagine the measurements that it would take to kill you, because it would be way less than the minute amount of powder that it takes. And keep in mind, guys, just a little bit, I would say, I don't know, like my pinky full of it in a room can get everybody sick and, if not, kill people. That's just a pinky. Liquid form, out of control. Now, I'm going to go over the list of overdose signs for fentanyl because, again, we're going to be seeing it. For a lot of us who work in the law enforcement field, whether you're a cop, fireman, EMT, or correction officer, even sanitation, because they're out in the street a lot, you're going to see a lot of this. These people doing the impossible when it comes to the dope fiend lean. Some of these people look like they should be playing limbo because they are like limbo champions, never touching the ground and fucking dozing over the way they do. It's incredible to watch. But here are the overdose signs of fentanyl. Breathing that is slow, shallow, erratic, or completely stopped. Pretty much means you're dead. Extremely lethargic, difficult to arouse, or unconscious. Small, pinpoint pupils. That's a telltale sign. Weak pulse, which might feel slow or fast. Vomiting. Choking or gurgling sounds with breathing. Limp or lifeless look. Pale look. Skin that feels cold and clammy. And blue lips and fingers tips. Now, the cold and clammy and pale, we work with a ton of people that, we all have co-workers that look sick. You're going to walk up to fucking Jared tomorrow morning. Dude, are you on fentanyl? Because you look like shit. Meanwhile, he looks like that every day. You could break his balls by saying that. You're like, why do you look like you're dead? You have to be on drugs. Meanwhile, if you do that, you could probably get him in trouble. So maybe don't do that. But anyway, guys, these are the signs and symptoms of what we're looking at, especially that we're going to see this a lot more. We're going to see an increase in usage of fentanyl and people dying from it. We're definitely going to see this uptick over the next couple of years. But as far as it being used as a weapon, I could absolutely see an increase in people using this as a weapon. Also, guys, for those that might not know, there's something called naloxone, which is actually Narcan. It comes in spray form for civilians. For medical use, it's injections. These are the two things that knock it out of their system. With spray, it's nasal, and it takes a couple of sprays to get it out of their system. Injection usually works a lot faster. So again, guys, if you are concerned about people in your neighborhood, you can get the naloxone spray, which is a nasal spray which goes up the nose. You could stop in almost anywhere, like a police station, maybe EMS station, depends on where you live, and you can get this from there. All right, guys. Anyway, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.